Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fit and fine. So dear students, as you know that we have started chapter 3 Journey to the End of the Earth by Tishani Doshi in your supplementary reader book Vistas. As of now, in this lesson, we have seen that the writer Tishani Doshi tells us about her visit to Antarctica, how Antarctica is different from Earth, from other part of the Earth. So with the help of PPT, first we will do the quick revision of what we have discussed as of now in this lesson. Then I'll explain a few more paragraphs of this lesson. So let me show you the PPT on your screen, through which we will try to understand some geographical terms which have been used in this lesson, as well as we will be revising what we have read as of now in this lesson. So let me show you the PPT on your screen. As we all know, Journey to the End of the Earth has been written by Tishani Doshi. So we have already discussed about the author. So let us go through a quick revision of what we have discussed. So as you can see on your screen, this is Antarctica and this is the Earth. It was shown in the last video too. So as the author mentions that she starts her journey from Madras, which is 13.09 degree north of equator, and she starts her journey with Russian research vessel named Academic Shokalsky. It is Academic Shokalsky, the name of the ship, the name of Russian research vessel with which the journey was started by the author Tishani Doshi. Further, she tells us that they had been traveling over 100 hours in combination of a car, an aeroplane and a ship. So after traveling 100 hours in combination of a car, an aeroplane and a ship, she reached with the group of other members, she reached Antarctica. So here, dear students, the author also tells us the Antarctic's expansive white landscape and uninterrupted blue horizon, as you can see in the in this slide. Already we have discussed that where the earth and sky seems to be meeting, that place is called horizon. Here you can see the picture of Antarctica and the picture of India. You can compare how once this part of India, the picture in which you can see the population of India, how the houses and buildings have been built. So once it was the part of the Antarctica, which is very peaceful. You can see it is not crowded. These are the animals which we discussed in the last video too. Fauna of Antarctica. Fauna means animals. So these animals live on Antarctica. So southern elephant seals, leopard seals, toothed whales, Weddell seals, emperor penguins and Adelie penguins, chintrap penguins, blue whale. Now flora of Antarctica. Flora we know, Flora means plant. Flora and fauna means plant and animal life. So simple plants like algae, mosses, liverwort, lichens and microscopic fungi. It is also pronounced as fungi. Microscopic fungi can survive and grow in Antarctica. Later, the author tells us about phytoplankton, a varied group of tiny tree, floating plants. In spring and elderly summer, their numbers increase rapidly, producing blooms like a thick pea soup. It should be thick here, which can cover thousands of square kilometers of the ocean. Further, she tells us about the in this diagram, as you can see, how this food cycle of how this food cycle takes place at Antarctica. So phytoplankton in Antarctic food web. So where you can see how they first start eating phytoplankton. So later they are eaten by the bigger animal, and then that one by the bigger. So this way this food chain continues on Antarctica. We will read about it in the lesson. So let me show you some more geographical term. Yes, this is Gondwana land, about which we read in the lesson in the part of history. Gondwana, as it has been mentioned in the lesson, it is 650 million years ago a giant multi-part southern supercontinent Gondwana existed. But later what happened, let me show you in the next slide. Later this Gondwana separated, this supercontinent Gondwana separated, as you can see here. It is a single landmass, but here in the next slide you can see how the Gondwana landmass started to disperse, started separating about 160 million years ago. So later the author tells us about the distinction of dinosaurs, how when dinosaurs started disappearing, then at that time mammals, the life of mammals had just started. When extinction of dinosaurs took place, then you can say the life of mammals started. Okay, so dinosaurs were wiped out and the mammals got underway. Separation into countries. So landmass was forced to separate into countries, shaping the globe as we know it today. So thus that landmass Gondwana separated and forced to shape the countries which we can see today. It took the form of the globe as we know it today. So landmass was forced to separate into countries, shaping the globe as we know it today. Later we came across a geographical term, Cordilleran folds. So Cordilleran folds means mountain ranges, as you can see in this slide. So Cordilleran folds are formed by a system or group of parallel mountain ranges together, which the intervening plateaus and other features. So these are new geographical terms which we must know. Later the writer discussed, the writer has told about Precambrian granite shield. So what is Precambrian granite shield? So these are the granite sheets which are formed approximately 4.5 billion years ago until the start of Cambrian approximately 520 million years ago. So it was the period of formation of the earth of about 540 million years ago. The formation of earth took place. So it was known as Precambrian uh, period. Okay, so Precambrian granite sheets, these are the granite sheets which are formed approximately 4.5 billion years ago until the start of the Cambrian approximately 540 million years ago. Later formation of Himalayas took place. So India pushing northwards, jamming against Asia to from Himalayas. So we can see in the picture how India pushing northwards and jamming against Asia to form Himalayas. Even drifting of South America, the author has mentioned in the lesson, South America drifting off to join North America, opening up the Drake Passage to create circumpolar current. Circumpolar, as we discussed about it in online classes, you all know very well. I showed you the picture too. The circumpolar current. Now it is a Drake Passage. This is the picture of a Drake Passage. So these are geographical terms. So each and every terms we have also discussed in online classes, and I showed you I showed you all the pictures of all the terms. So the Drake Passage is the body of water between the southern tip of South America and Cape Horn, Chile, and the South Shetland Island of Antarctica. Circumpolar current, once again you can see here. So the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, ACC, is an ocean current that flows clockwise from west to east around Antarctica. So you can see the blue part which has been shown in this picture. It is circumpolar current. Okay. This one, dear students, this one which you can see here, it is circumpolar current. Then ping pong ball we came across when the author was walking on the Antarctica. So it seemed like she was walking on ping pong balls. So it's like walking into a giant ping pong ball, as she mentions in the lesson, devoid of any human makers, no trees, billboards, buildings. So ping pong ball, it is, it looks like it's a tennis ball. Tennis ball is known as ping pong ball. So as you can see in the in this slide, the picture of a ping pong ball. Later we discussed about myths, as myth is a tiny two-winged fly that resembles a mosquito. So the author also tells us about midges and mites, as one can find on Antarctica. One can find the tiny animals. From tiny animals, the largest animals. She gives when she talks about tiny animals, then she gives the example of midges and mites. Let me show you the mites. Yes, these are the mites. Mite is insect-like organism which bite or cause irritation to humans. Okay, so midges and mites can be found on Antarctica, and also the largest animal, blue whale, is found on Antarctica. So she wants to tell us that from the tiniest to largest animals are found on Antarctica. So the blue whale is a marine mammal belonging to the suborder of baleen whales. So these animals, first we discussed about plants, then animals. So these types of plants and animals like phytoplankton and animals like mites, mysis and blue whales and other animals which we have just come across in these slides. So these animals are found on Antarctica. Avalanche, these are the geographical term. What is avalanche? Avalanche is a sudden drastic flow of snow down a slope occurring when either natural triggers such as loading from new snow or rain, or artificial triggers such as snow mobilers, explosive or backcountry skies overload the snowpack. So simply avalanche is a sudden drastic flow of snow down a slope. So this process when snow suddenly drastically it flows, when a iceberg or a part of snow it suddenly flows down a slope occurring, it takes place due to some natural triggers, so it is called avalanche. Calving. So calving is a sudden release of breaking away a mass of ice from a glacier, iceberg, ice front, ice shelf or crevasse. So calving is a sudden release of and breaking away of mass of ice from glacier, iceberg. So this is called calving. Okay. So till here we discussed in the last video. Now today in this video we are going to discuss the next part of the story, which is human impact. So let's begin. Everyone please take out your book and open it at page number 20. Page number 20. Now the author talks about human impact. Human civilizations have been around for a paltry 12,000 years, barely a few seconds on the geological clock. Paltry means of small value. Paltry means of small value. So here the author tells us that human civilizations have been around for a paltry 12,000 years. So human civilizations have started just 12,000 years, while this earth is older by 540 million years. So she says that human civilizations it had just started before 12,000 years. Barely a few seconds on the geographical clock. And if we compare it with the Cambrian and with the Precambrian era, when the formation of earth took place, then on geographical clock it is barely a few seconds. On geographical clock the human civilizations have started before a few seconds ago. 12,000, and the formation of earth took place 540 million years ago, while the formation of while human civilizations took place just before 12,000 years. So it is like a few seconds on geographical clock. In that short amount of time, we have managed to create quite a raucous, itching, our dominance over nature with our villages, towns, cities, mega cities. Okay, so in that short amount of time, in this short amount, in this during these 12,000 years, so this is a short time if we compare it with the formation of the earth. So it is very short time. So during this short time, we have managed to create quite a ruckus. Ruckus means a big disturbance. Ruckus means a big disturbance. So we created a big disturbance on the earth, itching our dominance over nature with our villages. Itching means leaving a lasting impression. Itching means leaving a lasting impression. Leaving a lasting impression. So she says that the formation of earth took place 540 million years ago, but human civilizations have started just 12,000 years ago, which is like a few seconds on geographical clock. Even though we have made a big disturbance, okay, and which leave a lasting impression. How did we do it? How did we do it? So we did it by building the villages, towns, cities and mega cities. So by constructing villages, towns, cities and mega cities, we did it. The rapid increase of human populations has left us battling with other species for limited resources, and the unmitigated burning of fossil fuels has now created a blanket of carbon dioxide around the world, which is slowly but surely increasing the average global temperature. So dear students, the rapid increase of human population, the rapid increase of human populations has left us battling with our species for limited resources. As we have limited resources, so now there is a rush, there is a battle for that limited resources, and the unmitigated burning of fossil fuels. Unmitigated means total and complete. Unmitigated unmitigated means total and complete. So dear students, the total and complete burning of fossil fuels has now created a blanket of carbon dioxide around the world, which is slowly but surely increasing the average global temperature. So how we human beings are responsible for this destruction, for this global warming, for increase in the temperature of the earth, because burning of carbons, creating carbon dioxide gas, burning of fossil fuels, burning of fossil fuels has now created a blanket of carbon dioxide, and which is very harmful for us, and it is increasing the temperature of the globe. Climate change is one of the most hotly contested environmental debates of our time. So these days, climate change is one of the more intense, controversial topic for debate. It has become a controversial topic for debate. Will the West Antarctic ice sheet melt entirely? So, what we discussed, what we debate today, that will the West Antarctic ice sheet melt entirely? Will the West Antarctic ice sheet, it's a sheet of ice. If it will melt, so it may cause, the flood. Okay, so will this increasing temperature of the globe cause in the melting of West Antarctic ice sheet? Will the Gulf Stream ocean current be disrupted? Will the Gulf Stream ocean's current be disrupted? Will it be the end of the world as we know it? So, or these things, these are the topics of debate today. These on these issues we are debating today, that one day will this world end? Maybe, may not be. Maybe this world will end because of this increasing temperature, may not be. Either way, Antarctica is a crucial element in this debate. So Antarctica plays a very important element in this debate, not just because it's the only place in the world which has never sustained a human population and therefore remains relatively pristine in this perfect. So she says that it is not just because on Antarctica there is no human population, so that is why it was able to maintain its purity in this respect, but more importantly because it holds in its ice cores 500,000-year-old carbon records trapped in its layer of ice, not because it has no human lives but the more important thing is that because it holds its ice cores 500,000-year-old carbon records trapped in its layers of ice. If we want to study and examine the Earth's past, present and future, Antarctica is the place to go. So thus, if we want to know about the present, past and future of the Earth, we should visit Antarctica, where we will get idea of it. We will get to know how was the past of the Earth, and we can imagine how will the future of the Earth be, and how the present situation will lead the Earth to may lead the Earth to an end. Students on Ice, the program I was working with on the Tucholsky. So here the author discusses us a program naming Students on Ice. Dear students, about this program you can know more about it on YouTube. In this program, what happens, the author tells us here. Also, a link regarding Students on Ice program has been given in the beginning of this book. Okay, so you can visit that link and get to know more about it. So aims to do exactly this by taking high school students to the ends of the world and providing them with inspiring educational opportunities which will help them foster a new understanding and respect for our planet. So the aim of the Students on Ice program is that this program, the aim of this program is to take the high school students to the end of the world and providing them with inspiring educational opportunities which will help them to foster means to develop, to foster means develop, sorry, spelling mistake, it's develop or grow. Okay, so foster means develop or grow a new understanding and respect for our planet. So the students with this program who visit on Antarctica, they grow a respect to this planet Earth. It has been a operation for 6 years now, headed by Canadian Gough Green, who got tired of carting celebrities and retired. So it has been in operation for 6 years now. So when the writer wrote this lesson, it had been 6 years since this program had started, and headed by Canadian Gough Green. So now got tired and carting celebrities and retired rich curiosity seekers who could only give back in a limited way. So with Students on Ice, he offers the future generation of policy makers and life-changing experience at an age where they are ready to absorb, learn, and most importantly, act. So with this program, this Students on Ice program, the students of high school can join the program. They can go to Antarctica and they can know about Antarctica. There they can learn about the present, past, and future of the Earth. Then they will start respecting to this planet, to our planet Earth. So you can read more about it, dear students. Link which is given in the beginning of the book. Let me show you where you can find the link where you can read more about it. So on page number, dear students, it is in the beginning about the book. If you go through this part about the book, so here you can see www.studentssonic.com. okay, so you can get to know more about it. About all the lessons, it is given here, so you must go through. It's all about this class, dear students. The remaining paragraphs will be finished in my next video. In my next video, I will finish this lesson and will discuss questions and their answers. So thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Keep watching the videos and keep completing your work.